Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam cha Hastamalakam cha Shishyam Tam Todakam Vartikaaramanyan Asmadgurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vipvaram. Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padam Bhujanmane Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Karmane. We are in the 192. Apada drishtidastatra brahmano bhati hetuta hetoscha satyata tasmat anyonyatyasa ishyate. Upanishad Brahma eva jagataha karanam iti vadati. Katam Brahma karanam bhavati. Paramatma sarvavyapakatvat. That very self which is all-pervading. Jagataha karanam kasmat bhavati. How is that possible? Avikari, undergoing no change. Avyaya, imperishable. Then Nityam, Shuddham, Satyam, Chaitanyam, Paramatma Rupam, Ajadam. Such a one, how can it be? Subject to creating that which is Jadam, Anityam, Vyayam Gacchati, Vikara Rupam, Akara Rupam. Totally opposite. How is that possible? So, apada drishtitaha, ajnana drishtya, from the standpoint of ajnana, from the standpoint of only avidya, tatra, there, where, loke, brahmanaha hetuta bhadi, tatra asmin ajnane, asmin ajnane, ajnana drishtya, brahmanaha hetuta bhadi. Brahma hetu, jagataha hetu iti bhati. It appears to be Brahman alone is the cause of this whole universe. Then, because it is only by the superimposition of the qualities of the world attributed to the Lord, attributed to the Brahman, who is seemed to be regarded as Ishvara. Tasmat anyonya adhyasah ishyate. So therefore, it can be due to anyonya adhyasa. Tas satyata eto satyata. The reality of this causefulness, being cause, etuta, causeness, satyata, reality of that causeness is due to anyonya adhyasa, meaning mutual superimposition. Superimposition between whom and what? Ishvaratva and Brahmatva. Just as Chaitanyatva or Atmatva of the Jiva and Jivatva of the Atman. That is, Atman, which is a nature of pure existence, etc., are attributed to body also. Body also is sentient, we say. Mind is also conscious, we say. Life in the body is also experienced as it is. So these are all adhyasa. Of what? Atman, which is of that nature, apparently it is attributed to the body, mind, etc. And the conditions of the body, mind, etc. is attributed to Atman. So, Atmani Anatma Buddhi, Anatmani Atma Buddhi. This is called Anyonya Adhyasa. So, this is in the same way, Ishvaratva, Karanatva is attributed to Brahman. This is attribution of the causeness of the world has been given to, superimposed on Brahman. And that's why it is called the Anyonya Adhyasa. Now continuing here in the next verse. Anyonyadhyasa rupauso avan aliptapato annaliptapato yata gattite naikatameti tatpadbhrante katam gataha Anyonyadhyasa ruposau annaliptapato yata gattite naikatameti tadvad bhrantyekatam gataha. The example, if you turn to the verse number 2 in this very chapter, long ago, Swamiji forgot what that was. In the verse number 2, which is in page number 122. 129, 120. Chapter number 6 now. The fifth one is the smallest one. Yata dyauto gattidascha Lanjito ranchita pataha chid antaryami sutratma viratam cha atma tata iryate. Tata iryate. In that way it is considered. What? Yata, just as dyautaha. Dyautaha means clean, pure cloth. A clean cloth, gattitaha. Gattitaha means starched. Anna gattitaha, anna liptaha. Here it is used anna liptaha in there. When it is starch is put on that, made of the starch of the rice, that is gattitaha, become gatti. Thin, I mean, called. Oh, the many of you put no for the cotton saris. You put the star, just if it stands like this. Like that. If you put the sari like that, it will stand like a wall there. So, gattitaha. Lanchitaha. Lanchitaha means for the canvas to become firm, they put the starch and then they put the outline with the pencil mark before they paint. Especially as a portrait, they will first of all put the outline with the line. That's called lanchitaha. Then ranchitaha, then colored. So pataha, the cloth, first it was deutaha, clean, then gattitaha, starched, then outline marked, lanchitaha, then ranjitaha, colored. In the same way, chit andaryami sutra atma virataha atma tata iryati. Chit is pure, like the clean cloth. Antaryami is a gattitaha, starched. That is, he the one who is in the form of Ishvaraha. So the Ishvaraha is a extra superimposition put on the Brahman, Chit, pure consciousness. Like a pure cloth has been starched. Then Sutra Atma Hiranyagarbha. This is in the form of putting an outline there. Then Virat, color. All the colors are put, then it become Vividam Rajate, varieties of colors. So if you take a canvas, clean cloth, starched, outline, colored. Similarly, Chit, pure consciousness, Ishvaraha, Hiranyagarbha, Virat. This is a comparison that is given. So that is what he is using is Anyonya Adhyasa Rupaha Asau. This is what is called mutual superimposition. Asau, this. Anyonya Adhyasa. Anyasya Anyasmin Adhyasa. That's called Anyonya Adhyasa. Anyasya Anyasmin Adhyasa. In one, you put the other one. Like Annalipta Pato Yata. Like a starched cloth for the sake of painting. And when it is starched, you cannot remove the starch and the cloth separately. It is so one with each other. Gattita gattitena ekatameti. It becomes one. You cannot separate that easily. In the same way, Brahmanaha Ishwaratvam Jagatkaranatvam Ekatameti. You cannot easily separate that because we standing from where? Apada drishti. They are sitting in the, like that of a dreamer and the dream, you cannot separate them. Obviously, the dreamer is valid only when there is a dream, and the dreamer is said to be the one who is lying down there. On the bed alone is the dreamer, not anybody else. Somebody else is not there. So how that actionless presence or actionless person lying on the bed is totally involved in the dream as a dreamer. In the same way, Brahman, the absolute, now obtained the Ishwaratvam. Annalipta pato yata gattidena ekatameti. Tadvat. In the same way, Prantya ekatam gataha. Brahma Ishvara, Brahma, the Brahman, Ishwaratvam, Ishvaraha iti ekatam gataha. It has reached the point of oneness we cannot separate at all. And that is the very reason in Gita also, Bhagavan again and again says, Tasya kartaram apimam. Without even taking next breath. Vidya kartaram abhyayam. मैं करता हूं, हाँ मैं नहीं करता हूं. Without even losing a single moment, he would say. Gurudev used to say, you didn't even wash your mouth before you said that. You tell something, just the opposite also you say. I am the doer. Oh, not the doer. So, the same way here, from the standpoint of Ishvaraha, aham jagataha karta. Is it? I am Brahman. Karta api aham. Naiva karoti na karayati. Is it not? Alitta atma. So, this is the beauty of what? Beauty of superimposition. So, it is so difficult. It is interesting that, see, when we do Atma Anatma Vivechanam, Atma Anatma Vivechanam is valid only when there are two. Right? There are two, then you can say this is this and this is not. One is true, another is a false. Now, how will you distinguish? The difference between a dreamer and the waker, from the standpoint of waker, is not necessary. From the standpoint of dreamer, it's not possible. Think. When you are in the dream, can you find out where the waker is? Can you? When you are awake, can you find out where the dreamer is? No. So, Atma Anatma Vivechanam is necessary at the standpoint of the beginning of the study of scriptures. Yes, they say, Yat Anityam Tat Anatma, Yat Nityam Tad Atma, etc. So, Anityam is Mithya. Then what you do? From the standpoint of Nitya, Atma, you cannot even have even a glimpse of the Anitya, Mithya. So, here the difficulty is from the standpoint of Apada Drishti, those who are completely engrossed in the thought of reality of the world, for them to distinguish Brahman as independent, untouched, etc. is impossible. From the standpoint of a person who is looking at the snake and so afraid, etc., to tell him even this is nothing but a rope, he would not even listen to this. Forget about thinking. Even if you put on the light there and show him this is only a rope, he'll say, for you it is, not for me. Or maybe temporarily it is rope. So, yatha gattitena ekatameti tadvat ekatam gataha tad means Brahman tat tadvat, in the same way prantya ekatam gataha, due to the delusion. Continuing here, next one, another example which is also explained before. Megakasha mahakashau vivichyete na pamaraihi tatpad brahmeshayoraikyam pasyantyapadadarshinaha megakasho mahakasho vivichyete na pamaraihi tatpad brahmeshayoraikyam pasyantyapadadarshinaha. What is viveka? Vivichyate iti viveka. When a person does the discrimination, vivichyate, vivichyate, when it pamaraihi, not being discriminated, pamaraihi nama vivichyate, because it's a dual number. Vivichyate, what? Mega akasha, mahakashau na vivichyate, ete na vivichyate. These two, mahakasha means complete outer space, and mega akasha, what is reflected in the waters of the cloud. Waters of the cloud is also reflecting the space and the space. So what is reflected in the particles of the mega of the cloud is not different from the Maha-Akasha only, but we can see only as a limited presence within the cloud. In the same way, when our mind is clouded, na vivichyate pamaraihi prakrita janaihi, by the men who are so those who are not ready to use their the intellectual discriminating ability and merely engaging in what is being pursued by the senses, concluded by the mind. So when we look at this world, we don't consider it as mithya. We consider it so much of real, and everything looks real and everything demands our attention for our first presupposition of it being real. It's like somebody is watching a movie or a theater, until that movie is over, so much engrossed, crying also, laughing also, dancing also. Get into that mood, right? Moodaha eva mood gachanti. Moodam gachanti. We get into the mood of dancing, mood of jumping around. Okay. So then deluded ones, like here it is given pamara. Pamaraihi na vivichyate. Cross thinkers. Tadvat, in the same way, as much as the cloud, the space reflected in the particles of the cloud and the external space, which is vast and all-pervading, cannot be discriminated easily. In the same way, Tadvat, Brahma Ishayoho Aikyam. Between Brahman and Ishvara, the oneness, Pashyanti, they see Apadadarshinaha. Apadadarshinaha Pashyanti, those who are having the deluded vision, those who are having ignorant vision. See, it is said in Drigdrishya Viveka is what? Satyam Astibhadi Priyam Rupam Jnana Chetamsha Panchakam Aditriyam Brahma Rupam Jagat Rupam Tatodvayam. It's a Nama Rupatmakam Jagat. That Nama Rupatmakam Jagat na asti, yat Sat Chit Ananda or Astibhadi Priyam na chet. If that existent consciousness bliss principle is not there, Nam Rup hoga. Ye hai. No, this thing is. And then you say, this is of this form and this is the name. Jo hai hi nahi, usko naam hoga, roop hoga. Roop hoga, nagam hoga. Neither form nor the name. Name may change. Form may change. But astitvam won't change. So, this Nama Rupa Jagat is a superimposition on Satchidananda, Astibhadi Priyam. So that is why it is said Astibhadi Priyam Brahma Rupam. Nama Rupa, that is what? That is Jagat Rupam. So here, Tadvat Brahma Ishayoho Aikyam. And even when you take Jivaha, Jivaha is Nama Rupatmakaha Jivaha. Individual is also known to be individual only because of Rupa and Nama. The form and name is removed. Who are you then? Carcass, dead. Merely just a combination of chemicals. So, we have to understand Ishwaratvam, Tada, Jivatvam, both of them are Maya. So long as the Jivatvam is maintained, Ishwaratvam also to be accepted. So long as I, the individual created being, is accepted, then there is a creator, then there is a creation. And who is the creator? Then Brahman alone is a creator. All those conclusions are right. So Jivatvam is superimposition. If this individual Sveshti superimposition is accepted, Samashti superimposition also should be accepted. You cannot say that I am Jiva, I am Jiva, but there is no Ishvara. That is not correct, no? Because once you have done the Adhyatma, Anyonya Adhyasa on yourself, that extends to Adhyatma, Anyonya Adhyasa of the world. See, that is the reason the teaching is essentially to make you realize you are not a Jiva. Once we recognize that I am not the Jiva, Aham Atma, then Brahma Tattvam is easily understandable. Then Ishwaratvam will go away. That's why Ramana Maharshi has said, Isha Darshanam Swatma Rupataha. So Atma Rupataha, Isha there uses as the word for Brahman. So Isha Darshanam, Brahma Darshanam, Swatma Rupataha. Veshaha Anadaha, Swatma Darshanam, Isha Darshanam, Swatma Rupataha. Vesha means what? Nama Rupa. When that is removed, what else will be there? So that is why it is said, Apadadashinaha Pashyanti. What? Tat Brahma Ishayoho Aikyam Pashyanti. So this is what is the confusion that is created here about the Ishvara and Brahman. Now, how to remove this confusion? We'll see here. Upakramadi birlingaihi Tatparyasya vicharanat Asangam Brahma Mayavi Srijatyesha Maheshwaraha Upakramadi birlingaihi Tatparyasya vicharanat Asangam Brahma Mayavi Srijatyesha Maheshwaraha. The methodology of dissecting the Pramana. Pramana, scriptures, Vedanta, Shastras have to be read or understood in a particular method of learning. And that particular method of learning is known as Upakrama Upasamhara Lingas. There are 6 of them are given. 6 important aspects of any book or Shastra. When we understand in that same way, we realize what the teachings are about. That is called, first one is Upakrama. Upakrama means introduction. Upakrama. Krama means method or order. Krama is order. And Upakrama means at the beginning order, introduction. So, introduction of a subject, Upakrama. And conclusion of this entire thing is called Upasamhara. And it is important, Upakrama and Upasamhara should say the same thing. Otherwise, I will start with something and end with something else. Then it will be a problem. What you begin with is what you end. Right? I believe in the freedom of the people. You start with that, your lecture. At the last part, therefore, communism is the best. What is that you said? You believed in capitalism, freedom, etc. And finally you say, therefore, only method of improvement is communism. Right? You just totally contradicted yourself. So even when a person gives a even short lecture, he must follow these 6 important tools. It's a very effective communication. That is said in Vedanta also, we studied this. And you can take any chapter of Bhagavad Gita and start looking at it. You'll find this. Bhagavan begins with and ends with the correct same point. So here, Upakrama, introduction, and Upasamhara. This is the first. This is one. Next one is Abhyasa. Abhyasa literally means practice. But here it means repetition. An idea has to be repeated again and again and again so that the particular understanding takes place deep-rooted in our mind. This does not mean Abhyasa is not mere repetition in your mind. It's not like a japa. Abhyasa here means a repetitive of ideas that will be emphasized here. So if you see any effective leadership quality or any effective communicator, a particular point you will drive home. You must go home with that thought. That is this idea. You should not forget what I have said. At least if you take few ideas from what I have said, that is enough. That will lead to whatever we have explained. So this is called Abhyasa, the second one. The third one is called Apurvata. Apurvata means what is not said anywhere else. Why should I read the book? Because it is saying something very unique. This is uniqueness is known as Apurvata. Similarly, if you are listening to someone, that person who is communicating some knowledge has come something, a special, unique idea to put forth. That catches attention. Oh, this I've never heard before. Should bring the Apurvata in what you communicate. So one is Upakrama Upasamhara, together one. Second one is Abhyasa, then Apurvata. Third one is Prayojanam. Without looking for a personal benefit, nobody would either read or listen to anything. Is it not? What is it in for me? How does it benefit me? What do I get out of it? So one person was listening to a long lecture. So another person at the end of it asked, what you got out of it? I got out of it. That is that's what I got out of it. I got out of it. So that is not the Prayojanam. Prayojanam is what is purposeful to me, what is useful to me, what is the phalam, how does it benefit me? That's what I have to think. Upakrama, Upasamhara, Abhyasa, Apurvata, and Prayojanam. Fourth one is Prayojanam. Fifth one is Arthavada. Arthavada means glorification of certain ideas. The first one is we saw uniqueness, but then the praise of knowledge. You will find Bhagavan Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram, Idamuttam. These are all Arthavada. Praising, eulogizing, making the people get interested into listening to it, so that they will have that feeling that I am learning something very important, something very unique of course, but very important. Something which is praiseworthy. Mahabhutani Ahankar. Before he started that word, Rishibir Bahuda Gitam Chandobir Vividai Pradake Brahmasutra Padesheva Yedumatvir Vinishchitai. Wow. Very good. This is spoken by Rishis and Manis. And so like that. Arthavada. Arthavada also means what will happen or what will be the result of not having this knowledge. That also we will find in Gita also many times. Samshaya Atma Vinashyati. Why important is Shraddha? Shraddhavan labate jnana. Prayojanam. Right? And then what you would say if you don't? Ashraddhadana Purushaha. For those people who do not have Shraddha in this, what will happen to them? Then they will come back again and again in the same world and suffer. This consequence of absence of the knowledge is also a part of Arthavada. praise as well as what will be the consequence of what will happen if you don't take it. Get this knowledge. This is the fifth aspect. Sixth one is upapattihi. Upapatti means how to show illustrations and examples and logical explanation to make this point across, so that the listener, the Shrota, will have a clarity in mind. Oh, this is how it is. So, in other words, when the teacher says, oh, that is Upapatti. Oh, and now I understand. Oh, this is how it is. Manasilai. Manasilai. I understood. Avdiche. Right? Now it has come to my understanding. Upakrama, Pasamhara, Abhyasa, Apurvata, Prayojanam, Artavadaha, Tata, Upapattihi iti Shat Lingaihi. Upakramadibihi Lingaihi Tatparyasya Vicharanat. Tatparya means Tat iti. Tatparya means what is the essence of the teaching of the scriptures. Vicharanat. Lingaihi Vicharanat. By these methods of thinking. What is the conclusion that will be coming to when the Upanishads and other things are read with the proper method of learning? Asangam Brahma, the Maya, Brahma which is naturally unattached, unconnected. He himself, Yeshaha Mayavi Maheshwaraha Sijati. Asanga Paramatma eva Mayavi Ishvaraha etat Jagat Srijati. And we can clearly see how that very self which is unattached himself is acting as the creator of the universe with what? That's the word most important is Mayavi. One who is Maya Shaktiman. As a one who holds the power of Maya. Utsrujamini Griknami cha Griknami Utsrujami many Prabha Vishnu. No, what comes? Yesterday also we saw that, no? Grasishnu Prabha Vishnu cha. He is the devourer as well as the creator of the universe. So this way, these Shat Lingas are to be used for study of the scriptures. So Asangam Brahma, this is how one come to conclude that this nature of the Brahman is unattached, uninvolved, yet with the power of Maya, as though he engages in the action of creation and becomes the cause of this creation. So now Taittiriya Upanishad is used to explain how this is to be applied. So that is said in the next verse. Satyam jnanamanantam cha iti upakramyopasamhritam yato vacho nivartante ityasangatva nirnayah. Satyam jnanam anantam cheti upakramopasamhritam yato vacho nivartante ityasangatva nirnaya. So in the Taittiriya Upanishad, the definition of Brahman is given. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that which is Satyam. Satyam means true real existence. Jnanam, Chit Swabhavam, Chetana Rupam, Chit Shaktihi, Chidatmakaha, of the nature of consciousness, awareness, self-knowing, self-resplendent. Just like the lamp or the fire by itself knows itself. Meaning there is no light, another light is necessary. Yata deepaha, deepasya anya deepa icha. Deepasya anya deepa na icha. Meaning there is no need for seeing a light by another light. So the light itself is self-knowing. In the same way, this Chidatma Rupa, Paramatma, does not require anything else to know. So that is called Chit there. Sat Chit. So Satyam Jnanam. And because it is Satyam and Jnanam, it is of the nature of pure existence and self-awareness, it is Anantam. Anantam Kalena Deshena va, by either Kala or Desha Aparichinnam. By the Desha and Kala or Vastuna na Parichittam, Parichinnam. No, that is not conditioned, curtailed, limited. That is Anantam. Anantatvad Anandam. जो अनंत है वही आनंद है. हमारा वो आनंद का वो, what is the vigna that comes because something else is there. See, nature of ours is bliss, but we are not able to experience the bliss because of other obstacles that come in the form of desires. So if there is otherness, there is always sorrow. Especially when you have to get up. In the morning you have to get up. Sunday ko kyun itna? No, why I have to get up so early? Why not I just 5 more minutes? Only 5 more minutes. Another 1 hour is gone. So because that, you don't want to end it. So the Ananta, this nature of that reality which is constant, endless, does not have anything other than itself to stop it. So obviously it is of the nature of, bliss does not mean mere joy, it is undisturbed existence. So Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So this is how the Upanishad, see, Upakrama does not mean necessarily on the first statement. Not necessary, but introduction to subject matter. So when introduction takes place, first a definition is given. This is what we are going to discuss. So, and at the end also, what is said that is at the end it is said Asangam Brahma Ma. So that is said, Yato Vacho Nivartante iti. That which is Vachaha na nivartante manasasaha. With the mind or the speech, speech returns along with the mind without reaching it. That is the upasamhara. What does it mean? Which cannot be existent, cannot be otherwise. It cannot be explained. Awareness cannot be explained in terms of words, and that which is eternal cannot be explained in terms of words. Even mind cannot comprehend. Yato vache yacho nivartante. So, here, this way, definition of Brahman is begin with that, and then upasamhara is yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. So here, yato vacho nivartante. So what is the, see here, not all of them are explained. Upakrama, upasamhara and prayojanam is also given. What is a prayojanam? Asangatva nirnayaha. Prayojanam is asangatva. Prayojanam is detachment or non-attachment to anything. And the non-attachment to anything is actually freedom. We have seen that earlier also. Asangatvameva moksha. Liberation is not something that happens at some point of time. Suddenly only I woke up, liberated. Longer the beard, greater should be your doubt. So some people say, I got up and then I became liberated. Okay, kaisa ho gaya aapko? How did it happen? Pata nahi. So here, the asangatva is the nature of Brahman one comes to realize, because one starts to experience this asangatva by that knowledge. That's a prayojana. That's the final result of this knowledge. So this prayojanam is also given as an example. This way, we should use this methodology of learning how to understand the 6 methods of knowing. Udvakrama adibirlingaihi. All right. And continuing here, in the Shvetashvara Upanishad, it is already given that how the creation began as Brahman assuming the nature of the Ishvaraha, how he remains asangaha. Mayi srijati vishvam sat niruddhastatra mayaya anya ityaparash Shrutistanneshvara srijet. Mayi srijati vishvam sat niruddhastatra mayaya anya ityapara brute Shrutistanneshvara srijet. Mayi vishvam srijati. Mayi Vishwam. Mayi means the one who has Maya, he creates this. Associated with Maya alone, Ishvara creates. And in the same Upanishad is pointing out what Anyaha Mayaya Tatra Sanniruddhaha. Anyaha Jivaha. Jivaha Mayaya Sanniruddhaha. Oh, here Sadnirutva means Sanniruddha means Samyak Nirutva. Sam Nirutva. We said Sat, right? Some should be. Sanniruddha, meaning he is very well conditioned. Anyaha means Jivaha. So Ishvaratva is understood. Jivatva also should be accepted. We have seen that. If you superimpose Ishvaratam in Maya, means in Brahman, you would accept Jivatva then. If the world is accepted, individual is accepted. Right? If the world is there, what about you? I am not there. That is not correct. Because for me, you are a world. You may deny that, but you are part of the world only. So if the world is real, then the individual is also real. If the world is seen and unreal, see, this is the, I think I have explained this earlier also. First standpoint is world is real, I am real. This is what most people are in that condition. Correct? World is real, I am real. Second one is world is not real, I am real. Think, is that possible? World is unreal, I am real. Is that possible? But there are people who think like that. Shunyavadins, what do they say? I see the Shunyatvam, but who are you? I am there. Because there must be somebody to see the Shunyatvam. Third, world is real, I am not. The world is there, I am not there. That is also not possible. Both are not there. World is also nahi, maybe nahi. The standpoint of Vedanta is the world is also temporary as much as the individual who is seeing the world is also temporary. The temporariness of both of them are taken at the same level. When the temporariness of the world is understood, the temporariness of the yourself is also understood. If world is mithya, equally jiva is also mithya. If Ishvaraha mithya, you are also mithya. If Ishvaraha satyam, you are also satyam. So, while Ishvaraha, what is the understanding of Vedanta say? Ishvaraha Mayavi. He is the one who wields the Maya and he creates the world, whereas you, the Anyaha, Mayaya Sanniruddhaha. Tatra. But you are under the control of Maya. That is the difference between the nature of Ishvaraha and Jiva. This iti apara shrutihi brute. All other shrutis are talking about the nature of Jiva being under the condition of Maya. Therefore, tena, by this very reason of understanding, Ishvaraha srijati, Vishwam srijati. Mayi Ishvaraha Maya yasya vashaha tasmat Mayaya, with the power of Maya Shaktya, idam Vishwam srijati, Anyaha Jivaha Taya Mayaya eva Sanniruddhaha bhavati. By that very Maya itself he is caught. So that is why it's called, one is called Vidya Maya, another is called Avidya Maya. जो ईश्वर के पास है वो विद्या है, हमारे पास वो अविद्या है. And Vidya will bind, Vidya will not bind you. Avidya will definitely bind you. Because Ishvara, who is having Vidya Maya, is not bound by that. See, magician has got the magic power, whatever he doesn't bind him. It doesn't fool him. But it's called what? Vidya magic. Vidya Maya is not. Whereas the same magic, when we are watching it, we are so enchanted, encaptured. That is Avidya Maya. So the same Maya is under the control, therefore Bhagavan is not deluded. Whereas the same Maya, when it comes to individual, is the binding force. Iti anyaha apara shrutihi brute. Tena jnanena, tena karanat, Ishvaraha, tena Ishvaraha srijet. So therefore, the creation begins. Tasya kartaram abhimam, vidya kartaram abhimam, as I have told you, that Bhagavan, Krishna takes two standpoints. Akarta brahmaham, karta Ishvara abhiyam. How can one be two? Tasya kartaram abhimam Ishvara rupena. It's under the breath. Vidya kartaram abhiyam brahma. He has to say that because that is a reality. He cannot take one standpoint and tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata, immediately detach himself from Ishvara. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena. Who? Tameva Ishvaram sharanam gaccha. Aap, मैं हूँ, but you have surrendered to Ishvara. So, that is the beauty of Krishna. He keeps playing with us all the time. So, Mayi srijati vishvam, sanniruddhaha tatra mayaya. So, now, why did Ishvaraha, or why did Brahma take the form of Ishvara to create? That is also explained in the Upanishads. Anandamaya ishoyam bahusyamityavekshata hiranyagarparupo bhuti Sukti swapno yatha bhavet Anandamaya ishoyam bahusyamityavekshata hiranyagarparupo bhut Sukti swapno yatha bhavet. Anandamaya ayam Ishvara. Brahman, when he has taken to the form of Maya, taken in his control the Maya, he is become the Anandamaya Ishvara. Anandamaya Ishvara means identified with the Samashti Vasana Sharira. What is Maya to start with? Samashti Karana Sharira. He assumes that is Ishvara. When you become Ishvara, what is that Maya? Maya is nothing but Samashti Vasanamaya Kosha. Entire Vasanamaya Kosha. So, Anandamaya Ishaha, taking up the total causal body, I am Ishvaraha, Ishaha, Avekshata, he started to contemplate or think. What? Bahusyam iti. May I become many? May I become variety in this world as required or demanded by the vasanas. The variety is nothing but vasana only. If you look at it, every living being is an individual living being based upon individual expressions of the vasanas. So Gurudev always would say, now after this lecture, where do you go? Where your vasanas will take. Right? After 2 hours, 8:30 to 11 o'clock, 2.5 hours, coffee चाहिए मुझे. तो वो वासना है. टी पीना है, चाय पीना है, घर में जाके गरम गरम चाय. Now that becomes the one which will take you there. So individually we are continuously in pursuit of our vasanas. Correct? So what is the nature of Ishvara when he created? Anandamaya Ishaha, the one who is of the nature of bliss. Anandamaya Ishvara, Bahusyam praja yeti satapo tapyata satapastaptva idagam sarvam asrajata. Interesting thing is, I'm not criticizing or I'm not commenting on it, but yet to have to say. So I was watching, I was looking at Taittiriya Aranyaka. I wanted a particular point, I just want to find out what it is. So I was in the net and then I was looking at it and one priest was chanting. Vasyam praja yayeti tadapapyada tadapya idagam sarvam asrada idagam kincha satyacha bhavate yadaksam tanariktam cha yanam cha nilayam cha satyam cha avardam vacham bhavate. No, I'm just thinking, does he really understand what he's saying? Because for them it is memorization and applying that chanting in a ritual. But if you stop and look at it, it is philosophy. What is saying there? Bhagavan, Ishvara, he said, he Bahusyam praja yedi satapo tapyata satapastaptva dagam sarvam asurjata. It is a philosophical statement. With the association of Maya, with when the Lord meditated upon himself to become the many, he created it. So you can go on chanting, but if you, kya matlab hai iska, batao? You ask the priest, you will not be able to. Not all, I'm not just saying everybody is like that, but most of them would not be able to say. Because they do not study. That's why he said, Upakrama upasamharadibihi lakshane lingaihi tatparyasya vicharanat. A vichar karna hi hoga. Vedic literature is meant for vichar. You have to sit and contemplate what is that relevant, what is the context, what is the teaching, how does it apply to me? Right? So here, Anandamayeshaha ayam bahusyam iti avekshata. And from there, he moved to the next level. From Anandamaya Ishvara, now he becomes Sutratma. What? Hiranyagarbha Rupo Bhut. Meaning Samashti Sukshma Sharira Atma Abhavat. He moved to the next level, gross level, which is from causal body, he came to the subtle body. Again, Samashti Samashti Sukshma Rupa, Sukshma Sharira Abhimani Abhut. And this interesting, the illustration given here is, the example that is given, the Shtanta is Suptihi Swapnaha Yata Bhavet. A person who is in sleep, how he moves into dream. From the deep sleep state, he passes on to the dream state. Deep sleep state is Anandamaya Kosha. And Swapna is what? Sthula Sharira Abhimani. It has not come to Sukshma Rupa Sharira Abhimani. It has not come to Sthulam yet. At the level of the mind and intellect, or thoughts and emotions and feelings, he creates the world and remains there as a dreamer. From where? From the deep sleep state. Anandamaya Koshat. From there, he moves into Swapna Avastha. We always think that first Swapna and then the deep sleep, right? But most of the real dream takes place after the deep sleep. You move out of the deep sleep and then come to dream before you wake up. Because waking up taking place after the dream ends. So you go from deep sleep to dream and then come out of the dream to waking. We'll see that. Hopefully you are not still in the dream state. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkhabhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.